for you, black man. You must know who you are. You must know why you're here, and you must know what your purpose is. And when you find the answers to those three questions, you have to apply the information that you receive. Because if you do not apply the information, stop wasting your time listening to the information that you're hearing. If you're not going to apply it, if you just want to sit around and just feel good, you can continue smoking your weed and drinking your drink and popping your pills or whatever else you do for pleasure moments in time. That makes you feel good. This ain't a time for feel good. This is a time to work. Work the mind. Work the greater knowledge, the greater understanding, and the greater wisdom given to you by God. Planted in you by God. This is the reason why the Bible speaks of one being lazy and wicked, because God put in all of us a purpose and a plan, and put skill sets within us that we must tap into and develop them well enough to know how to exercise these skill sets. And once being able to exercise these skill sets, then we go to work. And the work is what you were born with. The work ain't your job. Your job is a skill to which was in you, but you tapped into it and you developed that skill, and from that skill set you create a job. But job and work is two different things. Work is what you were born with. That's your passion and your purpose. Your job is your skill set. Skill sets of being a police officer, a plumber, a fireman, a truck driver. Those are your skills. Your work is your purpose, or your purpose and your passion. Those are many skills in one. That's what comes from God. Many skills in one. You go to your job, you anger a boss, he tells you you fired. You leave from that job, which is your skill set. You go to your home front. You meet your wife. In the home front, she says to you, many of things around here we have to do. Got a lot of work to do. Cut the grass, wash the car, fix the roof, fix the toilet, clean the refrigerator, mop the floor. Many skills in one. And your home really reminds you of the Garden of Eden. When you check Adam in the book of Genesis, Adam had more than one thing to do. Not just one thing. Couldn't call Adam a fireman alone. Couldn't call Adam a plumber alone, a truck driver alone. Too many other things in the garden to do. That's the work. And this is what we, or I'm going to say you, black man, because I'm out of the job. I got work. This is what you have to know, understand, and receive great wisdom to obtain. The mindset of work, your purpose, and your passion. You've been embedded and trained to look for a job. Dr. Miles Monroe was my mentor. He still is my mentor. For those of you who know of him, I remember Dr. Miles speaking one day in reference to being in a leadership meeting. And this meeting was a room full of Chinese businessmen. And so Dr. Miles said he asked the question of these leaders, these business leaders, stating he wanted to know, how is it that in every part of the world, down to the slums of the community, they find a Chinese merchant in the slums of the community. Chinese store here, a Chinese store there, a Korean store here, a Korean store there. How is that? Dr. Miles said that once asking that question, he said they all laughed. And they responded back to him with a question and saying, we wondered the same thing. That how is it that we go everywhere in the world, and wherever we go, even in the slums, you, the black man, is always at the bottom. And Dr. Miles said, okay, I understand that, but can you just answer the question? Their response was simple. He said, wherever we go, no matter where, the first thing we look for, the Chinaman, the Chinese businessman said, the first thing we look for is a business. He said, but the problem with you, black men, he said, wherever you go, the first thing you look for is a job. And just as Dr. Miles stated, it blew his mind hearing that response. My mind was blown as well, listening to Dr. Miles tell the story. And he came back and said, well, what do you do in the meantime as you looking for this business, looking to establish this business? He said, we'll take any work available all the way to the point that we have just enough money to establish our business. Now, this statement, hearing this statement some years back, was a powerful statement, and is a statement that I kept and put in my archives of my thinking, holding it to my thinking to remind me of how others view us as black men, as the black community, and see how we operate. It reminds me, and I use that as a reminder of how we were taught to just look for a job. That's your safe haven. And for the black man, look for a federal government job. That's truly your safe haven. And now, coming out of our president, or former president, Barack Obama, and black men receiving some justice from President Obama by way of being pardoned from jail, long-term sentencing. But the unemployment rate was not reduced for the black man. The unemployment rate remained above 8%. Although the national unemployment rate was 4.3%. For the white man, 4.2% for the Jewish community, and 3.8% for the Asian community. And the reason why it was low for the Asian community, because the Asian community don't look for a job. They deal with the business. They search businesses. And it was 4.4% for the Latino community as well during the latter days of Barack Obama.